Hey everyone, it's Natalie. Today I'm back to do another video on a common question I get through email and through the comments section, and that is what to do or how to behave if your spouse is in contact with the narcissist, you're no contact, or maybe both of you guys were in contact and now your spouse wants to get back into contact. So I know this all too well. And by the way, for the person that was asking me to do the religious narcissist video, I am going to do it. I'm working on it now. So back to the question. So if you're in the situation or in the position that you want no contact and your significant other wants contact, first off, there's got to be boundaries that you set with your partner. And I'll get into that for in a minute, but the number one thing is you have to separate yourself from that relationship. If they want a relationship, you excuse yourself out of it. You don't let it bother you. You honestly just treat it as though in some ways it doesn't exist, as long as it's not affecting you, where like your partner's smearing you and telling the narcissist stuff and crossing your boundaries that you set with your partner. That's a whole other separate issue. But if you're okay with your partner having contact, then you have to find it within yourself to stop obsessing over the narcissist and the way they've treated you. If you don't care about this narcissist, obviously, if you went no contact, then you have to start behaving that way. You have to start saying, I'm wasting too much energy on this person. So if my partner wants a relationship, I'm going to set boundaries with him. I'll write them down on paper so that way he can be reminded and cannot use the excuse of, oh, I didn't know I couldn't share that. With me and my husband, we went no contact for 2 years, and he decided, because his parents are 70, that he would never forgive himself if he couldn't have just a little bit of contact with them. And of course, it upset me because we went for 2 years no contact strong, even when his mom was sending manipulative texts, things like that, things of his childhood memory, pictures of him as a baby, just things like that, right? Trying to manipulate him back into contact. He ignored those for 2 years. He didn't speak to him. He didn't, nothing. So what I did with my husband is, as upset as I was about this, because I'm a good person and I do have empathy, I do understand that he loves his parents. And unfortunately, you have to come to terms with that. You have to accept that those are his parents. And as hard as it is, and the betrayal that you feel when your partner is in contact with the narcissist can overwhelm you and destroy your relationship. But if you are willing to find a way to set these boundaries with your partner and write them down and tell them, these are the rules. My rules are, with me and my husband, is that you give very neutral surface answers to anything they say. Then the next rule would be, you are not allowed to talk about me or our relationship. I don't care if it's positive, nothing, no positive, no negative. They are not allowed to be in our relationship whatsoever. Then next, if they ask about me, he can say, she's doing fine, thanks for asking. If they ask about my son, he is not to go into detail about him being in soccer, Boy Scouts, how school's going, what his hobbies are. He simply says, he's doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. He is not allowed to give any personal details about his life, nothing. I mean, honestly, he can keep it surface, and he does. And I think because you're nervous about the situation of your partner being in contact with them, especially after they've treated you poorly, your anxiety's really high, and you really, at first, you do react to it because you don't know how to behave during the situation because you feel so betrayed. But you have to teach yourself that reacting to your partner for wanting to speak to his parents is just going to cause your relationship to have problems. Hold on, this AC went on. You won't be able to hear me. And if you want to make sure that you have a stable, healthy relationship with your husband or whatever significant other, then show him the empathy that he needs from you. You don't necessarily have to support that relationship, but you can support the decision in a way that you understand those are his parents, and if he's going to live with guilt and shame and depression because he doesn't get to say hi once in a while, or they don't get to say happy birthday, then just let him. Just let him get those few little texts or little phone calls. But there's no visiting, for like holidays and things like that. And if this hasn't happened in my relationship yet, but if my partner decides that, because what he told me is, Natalie, I need to at least see him one time before they die. And, I feel as though in some ways he's saying, by going over there, it's okay that you treat Natalie the way you've treated her for 22 years. It's okay, Mom and Dad. And I really did feel like that. But then I started thinking, I don't want him to feel like that. If he needs to go and talk with his parents, very surface, saying hi and everything before they die, then that's fine. It's going to be a difficult day when it happens, and I know a lot of you women are already dealing with your partner being in contact and seeing their narcissist quite often. So, as long as your partner is not sharing things with the narcissist, then it's like, I see a problem with it because of the disrespect that they show us. But then at the same time, I have empathy for our spouses who have normalized their parents' behavior and think that it's okay to, how do I say this? It's okay to go see them, but at the same time, you're offended by it. But then again, you're like, well, it's his parents. He should have the right to have a relationship with his parents. And I'm not going to lie, I've struggled with this. I've struggled with it. And I know you guys are struggling with it too. Because he finds his parents' behavior normal and you don't, he doesn't see anything wrong with some of their behaviors. I'm sure he doesn't like the way that they treat you. Maybe he's still blind to the fact that they treat you this way. Maybe they don't believe you, that the narcissist is after you. Well, then what I can say in that case is to protect yourself. See, regardless if you know it or not, by allowing your partner to have contact with the narcissist, you personally have the upper hand in this situation. You have the right to lay rules down with your partner, and find ways to exclude yourself from that relationship, and ask your partner not to talk to you about them. Nothing. You literally pretend like they don't even exist. That's what I do. And it's worked pretty well. I mean, there are times that I still get upset and things. And my husband and I talk about it and we work through it. And I think that's really important, is having communication with your partner about how you feel and stuff. But let me tell you, honey, my husband knows I don't play. I do not play. If he crosses one boundary, like for instance, giving them our home address, receiving gifts to my child from them, him receiving gifts from his parents because they like to give him money for his birthday. Because when they've done that in the past after we went no contact, I ripped the check up twice. So when, this is the thing. You have to make sure that your partner knows that if they cross any of the boundaries you have set for the relationship they want with the narc, you're going to take action, and there's going to be consequences in that relationship with your partner. You can come up with the consequences of your own, and if your partner continuously crosses those boundaries while having contact with the narcissist, that's a hard spot to be in, especially when you have children with this person and you're married to them. What I can say is that if they continuously disregard how you feel and cross those boundaries, you need to get it into counseling. I'm serious. You need to find a marriage counselor or a relationship counselor, a relationship coach. And you need to have a neutral party there to help explain to your partner how they're crossing boundaries and how it makes you feel. And how you've asked them to stop crossing boundaries, but they continue to do it. Those are major red flags in your relationship if your partner is not respecting you. Honestly, if my husband did that, I'd leave. Even with the child, I would leave. If he was continuously disrespecting me and making it known that he's telling his parents everything and allowing them to bash me and things like that, I wouldn't tolerate it. Because I think at this point, if you went no contact, you are on the verge of breaking off that relationship, getting a divorce. Because I know personally that no contact is the last straw with you. This is the only solution you have to stay in the relationship with your husband, wife, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. This was the last straw. You personally excluding yourself away from that narcissist, out of that narcissist grips. This was it. This was your this was the last choice you had, is going no contact. So if your partner is crossing those boundaries and telling the narc everything about your life and your child's life and stuff, if you can't fix it in counseling, you'll never fix it, and this will be your life forever. And I can tell you, I wasn't going to live like that no more. And so my husband knows I don't play. He does that, I will be gone. And I'll be honest, I laid the law down with him. When he said he wanted to receive text messages and phone calls from his parents, I let him know, honey, if you cross one of these boundaries, I can't trust you. And if there's no trust in this relationship, no dedication, no unity, what are we doing together? Why are we together? You are choosing your parents over me. And I'm not going to be a sitting duck anymore. And I know that we've all experienced being that sitting duck, having to put up with this abuse to please your spouse, to not start conflict in his family's side. So, yeah, I mean, you just have to have strict boundaries and accept it for what it is. And as because you love your partner, you want to make them happy and everything. The only reason why you would let or allow your spouse to be in contact with them, because it's crazy to think that even though the narcissist has hurt you the way they have, and your partner sees it, maybe they don't, but mine does, that they would still want to have, this low contact with them. It's crazy to think that, but your spouse or partner has been indoctrinated his whole life with these people. So he has normalized the narcissistic family cult. That's the truth. He's normalized it. So that's the reason why he still misses them. That's the reason why he wants a relationship with them. See, you don't love them. You haven't normalized their behavior. That's why you want no contact, because it's not normal to you. It's an antisocial personality disorder, and you don't have to tolerate that. But because you've educated yourself on narcissistic abuse and stuff, and you understand it, you understand those people will never change. But see, in your partner's mind, it's just his parents. That's how they've been their whole life. And this is why they have that need for the acceptance, for the conditional love still from their parents. As much as he loves you and respects you, it's his parents, guys. And all of our parents have quirks. All of our parents have done things. And you still want contact with them. That, I know there's been times I didn't speak to my mom for a year. But then there's something inside of you that wants to have a relationship with them because you love them. That is your parent. So it's the same thing with your spouse. Even though you may not have came from a narcissistic household, your partner he's never seen what a healthy relationship looks like. Maybe you did come from an unhealthy home. But you still, even if you did, those are your parents, you still love them. And that is the struggle that your partner is going through. So he doesn't want you to be disrespected or anything. But he can't suppress or hide the fact that he loves his parents. And I know that no matter what, really, no matter what you do or say, you will never be able to convince your partner that he shouldn't love his parents, as horrible as they are, and they know they're horrible. It's hard to do that, and it's not really right to try to convince them at the same time, because your experience is totally different from the experience that your partner has had with the narcissist, because he's normalized it. That is a normal behavior in his family. He honestly, he can't really see what you see in the same way. And that's why that constant need for their parents' acceptance is still there. It's like an addiction in a way, because they've spent their whole life looking for that acceptance. It's kind of hard to stop looking for it. And I will tell you that through practice, which my husband has done, of controlling that urge for looking for acceptance, he's gotten a lot better. And I think that's something that your partner needs to work on too. So at the same time, you do need to educate your partner on this narcissistic abuse so they can fully understand that your boundaries mean a lot to you. And if they want contact with your parent, with their parent, then these boundaries need to be set in stone and they need to respect them. It's worked in my marriage. Hopefully it can work in yours. But yeah, you just basically ignore that relationship. As long as they're not crossing boundaries and sitting there talking to you about their parent and things like that, then you just carry on in life without wasting any time on that. Because this is the thing, guys, is you're wasting too much time on you yourself looking for acceptance and being welcomed and looking for that love. It's not going to come. The narcissist has a hidden agenda towards you. And like I've said in my past videos, they can't let go of their child. That's why they're after you. They have an ancestral emotional relationship with their child. And because you've gotten into the picture and you have stolen that emotional connection from his mother, which rightfully so, it should be on you, they want it back. So they're going to fight you for it. That's really what all of this is about. They find everything you do, good or bad, and criticize it and manipulate it and make you look like a bad person. So you honestly just have to be like, okay, I'm going to put a little bit of faith and trust into my partner and let's see where this goes. That's the best solution. Let's just see where it goes. And if your partner's not protecting you, then that's crossing a boundary, obviously. If your partner's not protecting that relationship he has with you, then get into counseling. I hate to say it, but if someone is constantly crossing your boundaries, regardless if it's your partner or narc, you shouldn't have a relationship with that person. If it's your spouse or the narc, if anyone in the world crosses your boundaries and they continuously do it, why would you stay in that relationship? There's no reason for you to stay in that relationship. They're not respecting you, and they honestly, they don't really care about what you have to say or anything. So if that's the case and you don't have trust in that relationship, then you're wasting your time. I hope this helps. I hope it reaches those few people that have asked about this. And like everyone knows, on Friday we do Zoom meeting. If you would like to join, please reach me at goodintentionslifecoaching@yahoo.com. It's my channel's name at yahoo.com. I will send you the meeting number and passcode, and I'd love to have you. And I think that this support group hopefully will grow, and I think it's really good for us to share our experiences, see what each of us have done, and see what has worked for you, what hasn't worked for someone else. Maybe implement these techniques or tactics that other people have used that worked into your own personal life, involve those in your life. And yeah, I'd love to have you. And you guys know that if you're dealing with narcissistic abuse, my coaching is totally free. And for the few people that have asked about my donation button, I don't put it in my channel because I see all these other life coaches on YouTube who are exploiting people and the abuse they've went through for financial gain, and I will never do that. So if you do want to donate, for the people that have asked, reach me at my email. I will send you a link and you can donate. But yeah, guys, let me tell you, all these life coaches on YouTube, they're making their money off of YouTube. That's why they're doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm doing this because I don't want you to ever feel the way I felt for 22 years. And I just want to be there for anyone that needs me, because I was so freaking alone. And I was driving myself crazy. And I just don't want anyone out there to ever feel the way I felt. So my coaching is free. All right, guys? I'm getting teary-eyed. It's just like the struggle that I went through for so long. It's just like so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking to me because I love my husband so much. But that's why I make these YouTube videos, to help other people. And, you know, hopefully my techniques can work for you, because I have done a lot of research on this. I have, through the 22 years, came up with my own techniques that have worked. And I just, you know, I just want to be able to share these techniques with you guys so you can try them. If they fail, then don't use them. They've worked for me, and I hope they work for you. And that's why I make these videos, because I want you to be able to stand up to the narcissist no matter what. Have no fear. Stop obsessing over it, because you're never going to be accepted, ever. And you have to accept the fact that you didn't get the mother-in-law or father-in-law that you deserve. And if someone can't accept you for who you are, the person you are, then you don't need those people in your life. Point blank. Okay? All right, guys. Peace, love, and harmony. I'll see y'all later. Oh, and by the way, I'm about to reach 500 subs. Yay! So I'm very excited, and thank you for that. If you like this video, thumbs up and subscribe. Bye.